And what if I told you there's a diamond so huge, so unimaginably rare, that when they first took it out of the ground, no scale at the mine was strong enough to weigh it? January 26th, 1905, South Africa. A single stone, 3,106 carats of raw, uncut brilliance. More than a pound of pure diamond. It's not a myth. It's not a movie. It's real. And within months, it was in the hands of the British monarchy. But here's what they don't tell you. Cutting it almost destroyed it. Moving it was a spy-level operation. And today, its fragments are embedded in the crown jewel's symbols of power, yes, but also of empire, extraction, and an enduring controversy. This isn't just a story about a rock. It's about ambition, engineering, and the insane lengths humans will go to own something they can't even hold. If you've ever wondered how a single gem can influence history, politics, and even modern debates about justice, this is the one that started it all. And by the end of this, you will know not just where it came from, but why it still matters more than a century later. If you found this content about diamonds fascinating, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel. Your support helps us keep digging deeper into the brilliant stories others overlook, and we have many more revelations coming up. It was a quiet morning at the premier mine in Cullinan, South Africa. Frederick Wells, the mine superintendent, wasn't on a treasure hunt. He was doing a routine inspection. But then something strange. A glint on the wall. Not flashy, not sparkling, just there, like a piece of ice frozen in the stone. He chipped it out. No crumbling, no collapsing, just solid resistance. He pulled it 106 carats of rough diamond, the biggest ever found, and no scale in the mine could weigh it. They had to estimate. The mine belonged to Sir Thomas Cullinan, hence the name. But the discovery? Unbelievable. News spread fast. Papers called it the Star of the World. But the real question wasn't just how. It formed more than 1.2 billion years ago, deep in the Earth's mantle, but what would happen next? Because in 1905, South Africa was not independent. It was British territory, and the British government? They saw opportunity, not profit, power. So they bought it for $150,000 and gifted it to King Edward VII, a birthday present. From the colony to the crown. A gesture or a statement? Now picture this. You have the most valuable rough diamond in history. How do you move it? In 1908, they pulled off one of the biggest decoys in gem history. The official story? The Cullinan was shipped to England on a heavily guarded cruiser, the HMS Africa. Guns, soldiers, locked safes. But the truth? That was a decoy. The real diamond? Sent by mail in a plain box, via registered post. No guards, no fanfare. Just a man in a suit dropping it off at the post office. Meanwhile, the warship sailed with a replica. Why? Because the real threat wasn't theft, it was publicity. If pirates or thieves knew the route, they'd strike. So they played the long con. Once in London, the stone was handed over to the Asher brothers in Amsterdam. Joseph Asher, the master cutter, was known for precision, but even he hesitated. One wrong tap? Catastrophe. He studied it for months. No x-rays existed, no scans, just eyes, experience, and a cleaver. The first strike? The tool shattered. The second? Same thing. The third? The diamond split perfectly. From this, 9 major stones emerged, Cullinan 1 through 9. The rest? 96 smaller ones. All accounted for, but the tension? Unimaginable. Cullinan 05 30.2 carats. The largest clear-cut diamond in the world. Now set in the sovereign's scepter, on display in the Tower of London. When Queen Elizabeth II was crowned, she held it, a symbol of divine right, authority, and unbroken lineage. Cullinan II, 317.4 carats, is in the front of the imperial state crown. You've seen it in photos. That massive stone right above the Black Prince's ruby. Together, they represent the pinnacle of royal jewel ownership. But here's the twist. The original stone was South African, cut in Holland, owned by Great Britain, worn by royalty, and today, still in the UK. South Africa has formally requested its return. The UK refuses. They call it inalienable property of the Crown. But the debate rages. Is it heritage or plunder? And what does it say that the world's biggest diamond is used to legitimize a monarchy built on empire? How does a diamond grow to 3,106 carats deeply, like 150 miles deep, in the Earth's mantle, under insane pressure and heat? Carbon atoms squeeze together over billions of years. Occasionally, a plume of magma rushes up, carrying diamonds with it. The premier mine sits on one of those pipes. But giants like the Cullinan? Exceedingly rare. Only a handful over 1,000 carats have ever been found, the largest after the Cullinan. The Lecedi La Rona, 111 carats, still less than half the size. Scientists say the Cullinan formed under unique conditions: low nitrogen, high pressure, perfect crystal structure, but even today we can't replicate it. Lab-grown diamonds max out at a few carats. Nature still wins. But here's something wild. The Cullinan wasn't just a discovery. It triggered a diamond revolution. After its finding, geologists started studying kimberlite pipes like never before. They realized these vertical volcanic tubes weren't just random. They were time capsules from the deep earth interior. And the premier mine, it didn't stop. In the decades that followed, it produced dozens of other huge stones, Cullinan 3, 4, V, some of which now hang from royal brooches and tiaras. Queen Mary wore Cullinan 5 as a pendant. Elizabeth II later had it set in a platinum cross. These aren't just jewels. They are fragments of a single moment in geologic time, now scattered across crowns and ceremonies. Let's not pretend this is just a heartwarming discovery story. In 1905, South Africa was under British control. Black laborers mined the diamond in brutal conditions. No share, no recognition. The wealth, exported, the legacy, European. Today, the Cullinan mine still operates, but most of the profits go to multinational corporations, and the diamond itself, a symbol of extraction. In 2023, the South African government demanded the return of Cullinan the Furs and 2. The UK said no. Not stolen, they argue gifted. But was it a gift if the giver had no real choice? This isn't just about a rock. It's about who controls the history, who gets to display it, and who remembers the cost. And speaking of cost, what's the price of the crown jewels? Officially, priceless. They are not for sale. They can't be. It's not property. It's heritage. But unofficially, estimates range from 400 million to over 2 billion. Insurance? Impossible. The real protection? Publicity. Everyone knows where they are. Thieves know it's impossible. Laser grids, pressure floors, armed guards, 247 surveillance at the Tower of London. But the truth is, the greatest security is the myth. The idea that these jewels are untouchable. Untouchable, that is, except by history. You'd think a diamond this size would be in every movie, but it's not. Why? Too political. Too loaded. It's appeared in documentaries, royal ceremonies, but never fiction. No James Bond heist, no Ocean's 11 caper, because it's not just a gem, it's a relic of empire. But in design, massive influence. The Asher cut developed for the Cullinan became a standard of luxury, and the idea of royal diamonds as symbols of power cemented. Even today, when a country finds a huge diamond, they call it the next Cullinan. But here's a twist most people miss. The Cullinan wasn't the only giant jewel found in Africa, nor was it the last. In 2015, a 1,111-carat stone Lecedi La Rona was pulled from a mine in Botswana. It was auctioned for 53 million. But unlike the Cullinan, Botswana maintained control. They partnered with a jeweler, but they insisted on local benefit, local pride. No colonial handover. No gift to a foreign crown. It was a quiet revolution, one that said, this time, the wealth stays here. Contrast that with the Cullinan, and you see the shift. One diamond symbolizes extraction, the other, empowerment. And yet, the Cullinan's shadow looms large. In 2022, a group of South African activists launched a Bring the Cullinan Home campaign. They argue that returning the stones wouldn't erase the past, but acknowledge it, that it's time to stop displaying plunder as heritage. The UK's response? Silence, or legal jargon. The crown jewels are inseparable from the institution, but institutions evolve. monarchies fall, and public opinion changes. Just look at the Benin bronzes, the Elgin marbles. The push for restitution is growing. And the Cullinan? It may be the toughest case yet because it's not just art, it's power, literally embedded in the scepter of sovereignty. There's a scientific mystery here too. Despite decades of study, we still don't fully understand how the Cullinan formed. Its crystal structure is nearly flawless, its clarity extraordinary. Some researchers believe it originated from a subducted oceanic plate carbon from ancient life, dragged into the deep mantle, then rocketed back up in a violent eruption. A billion-year-plus journey, and then just like that, it was found by a man on a morning walk. That's the thing about diamonds. They aren't just rocks. They are time travelers. What if it had never been found? What if it had been destroyed during the cutting? What if South Africa had kept it? Imagine a world where the biggest diamond in history became the centerpiece of a national African museum, a symbol of independence, not subjugation. Or worse, what if it had shattered during the first strike? Joseph Asher fainted after the third tap, they say. The pressure was too much. One mistake and history would change. The scepter, the crown, the coronation photos, none of it would be the same. The Cullinan Diamond isn't just a gem. It's a mirror. It reflects ambition, greed, engineering genius, and historical injustice. It has been studied, copied, admired, and demanded back. It has inspired museums, laws, and even jewelry trends. But more than anything, it's a reminder. Sometimes the most valuable things aren't what they're worth, but what they represent. From a single rock pulled from the earth in 1905, we've had a saga of science, secrecy, and sovereignty. The Cullinan Diamond, 106 carats of pure power forever. Embedded in the history, the crowns, and the conscience of nations. If this opened your eyes to the real story behind the Cullinan Diamond, hit the like button. It truly helps the channel grow. And make sure to hit that like button, because stories like this, they are only the beginning. Thanks for watching.